All right, we're live. Let's see, big day in Dodgerville. Not the best, be honest with you. We'll go over some of that. Chat says, chime in with your city. Let me know where you're at. I am in Escondido, California. Just state would be cool. Or country. Hey, maybe someone's somewhere else. So let's go to, let's see. Let's go right to the transactions to get started because there's some names that were used in there. So for today, we'll just go down. So Ben Serenkuma, he's the young man from Uganda. He was assigned to Rancho. And then Garrett McDaniels, who I was going to do a quick look at him. I know I looked at him earlier, and then, of course, I forgot. So he's 23. That's right. He was a free agent signed in 2022. And so he's been in the organization. So he pitched last year. And, yeah, he hasn't done much. He hasn't pitched much. But I believe he's a lefty, so that's cool. I'm a lefty, so I kind of care. Let's see. We got the older catchers with major league experience, and then yesterday, Hyun Il Choi was activated. Thank goodness. I know it's been rough. But, look at his season so far. And let's take a quick look at his game logs because I have lost a little bit of track of him, and it's kind of a bummer. But let's see. Hello again, Michael. Que paso? Las Vegas, nice. Oh, from Fontana. All right. Home of the Speedway that I hear that they are destroying, and I'm not happy about it. I hope it's not true. So Choi, just getting those small little starts in. So that's cool, though, but he's doing well. Overall, 26 innings, 17 Ks. That's him, though. He's not a big flamethrower. And that's really about it. Well, a big one here is Peyton Martin to the development list. He was supposed to pitch on Thursday when I was going there, and they changed it and went with Gabe Emmett. And he was out of turn all of a sudden, and it was a disaster, just like last night was a disaster. And we'll talk about the disaster that was today. So we'll start off with the big club here. And it's not going to my right browser. Gee, thanks. Sometimes I hate these things. Let's see, is it gonna go? Hey, come on. Sorry about this. Let me kill that. I guess my preferred browser is the Apple one, Safari. Oh, that's back to transactions. Dang it. Come on. Oh, fudge. Keyboards, they're different. They are different. And the struggle is real. Well, we're just going to switch browsers, I guess, then. Let me do a quick switcheroo. Oh, no wonder it's going to the transactions here. All right. Sorry. Jeez. All right, that's the transaction. Okay, we're going to go to the Dodgers. Sorry. I was clicking on the wrong thing. Not that we really want to spend too much on that. I mean, it was a weird game. And so I don't know if anyone saw my tweet, but so I was a good boy in church. I did not watch the game. Church started at 10:30. I had my fantasy team going, everything like that. And I didn't look the whole time. I was good, even though yeah. But then I get out of church, 4-0, Dodgers. Sweet. And I start walking a little bit, 4-2, Dodgers. Get to my car, 4-4. So basically start my car, 5-4. And it never ended. So on the rookie side, what do we get? Well, Outman 0 for 3. Duluth had a couple hits. Good for him. Is he the guy? Is he our right-handed hitter? I don't know. I kind of would like to see him get at least some more playing time. Yeah, 2 out of 3 is great. I mean, they took 6 out of 9 on a tough road trip. I mean, the Mets are always a tough one. It's in New York. It's distractions. It's New York. Then they go to Baltimore. Baltimore's a good team. Beat them well, and then go to Texas, and they beat them hard those first 2 games, and then then lost today. And really, it's he admitted you can't walk 5 guys. Doc talked about it. It's true. You just can't. So that was rough. Speaking of rough, the Quakes. Oh, the Quakes. They've had, so when I was there on Thursday, they lost 18-0. That was nasty. That was one of the grossest things I've ever seen. I'm just saying, it sure seemed like these last few games, the Storm has kind of known what's coming. And, all of a sudden they're just teeing off on everybody. And so, who knows? I'm just saying, I'm not directly accusing, but I'm also not going to limit that possibility. Let me make sure. Is audio and video good? We all seeing everything? So yeah, they were up. You can just follow here the box score, right? They're up 4-0. Then it's 4-2, 6-2, 6-3. They scored 2 more. And then Lake Elsinore scores 5. It was terrible. And if you could look at it, Christian. So let's talk about Christian Romero just for a minute. He is from Mexico. And actually I have a little video of him pitching, just one of those action videos. That's all it is, just looking at his mechanics. And 6 innings, three runs, but no walks, and then 6 Ks, and that's the longest outing for a pitcher for the Quakes this year. His pitch count 67 with 47 strikes is good. Then Thayron Kuma, I want to get that right. Thayron Kuma came in, and his issue was the walks. You can see this 1.1 innings, 3 walks, 4 Ks. The guy's got good stuff. And 2 hits, only 2 hits. And then the infield fell apart, or just poor Donkey or Doncon. He had a rough one. 2 errors on 1 play. That hurt. There's a reason that Bautista didn't give up any earned runs down here, but he walked somebody. So be like Christian, no walks. Not like the rest of the guys today. So an absolute disaster, losing to the Storm, who are the Padres team. Sounded good. Thanks, Michael, for the feedback. I appreciate it. Yeah, I need never be afraid to say, hey, too loud, too soft, too much feedback. You can even say it's too boring sometimes. Hopefully not. But you never, sometimes I ramble on a little too much. All right, let's go to the Loons. As usual, a bright spot. These guys are good. 59-30. It's real nice. I'm going to go real back. What is the Quakes record now? They're real quick. 50-40. So, And so Loons 59-30. It's really good. Really good. Man, it's being weird. Let's see. So the batting, Taylor Young 2 for 5. Dalton 0 for 2. Luis Diaz 2 for 4. Did he steal any bases? I usually don't check stolen bases because a lot of Oh, we got a caught stealing. Okay. Let's see, Luis Diaz batting, and then Newell hit a home run, so it's his 7th here. I think that's a total of it's either I think it's 21 because I think he had 14 at Rancho. His overall numbers are a little low, obviously a little lower. Kenneth Betancourt, Betty was playing left field today. Cool, anything to play, right? Bubba, Aline, 1 for 4. He's slowly coming back. Frank Rodriguez, 0 for 3. Max Hewitt playing second base again. 0 for Vogel, 1 for 4. But yeah, Newell with the only extra base hit. Pitching wise, Justin Robleski, his 2 home runs. That's what did him in. But overall, let's see what his 74 pitches, 44 strikes. So he went a little bit longer. I mean, he's a recovering Tommy John. Keep your eye on him. I mean, a lot you guys already know that, but keep your eye on him. And then let's see, Christian Suarez did fine. Michael Hobbs got the W. Nice outing. 2 innings, 1 walk, 2 Ks, no hits. Lucas Wepf, the Canadian, and he's got that little bit of twirl. Somebody said a little bit of Kevin Brown in him. I kind of like that one. Lucas Wepf got the hold. 2 walks, though. Juan Murillo coming around. Good. 1 K, no walks. And then, oh, wait, what? Robles. Oh, man. Benoni's got 10 saves. I like that a lot. Him being a reliever, Rooney being a reliever, they're big guys. They're left-handed. They get, as my son's, both of my sons' old coach, Bob Bafia, and he's like in his 80s now. This is his late 60s. He's coach of my kids. He just said, I like left-handers. They get people out. So that's cool. I didn't know he had that many saves. Jeez Louise. Nice. Very good. I'd like to see that. But, Robles pitched a lot at Rancho, get a lot of starts, and just, there was, never really one of those really excellent starts. But then to see him do so well in relief is really good. He's a big guy. I'd say he's 6'4". Tulsa? They lost, representing the Dodgers again. 48-42. We had a lot of rough weeks. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the spreadsheet, Michael, on those draft picks. Yeah, it's looking good. I think last I saw, all but one of the top 10. And so we'll need to get on, get out there and beg the guy to come in. But okay. Austin Gauthier playing right field just as he expected at the beginning of the season. They have not signed the quarterback yet that I know of. The way that'll work out is they'll sign him, but he probably won't play this year other than maybe show up in Arizona if they do that. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, his dad was really happy with it, and the Dodgers are a perfect organization for him. And it gives him a backup. So hopefully he does it. Yorbit Vivas, my man, 3 for 4, 301. What a season. Leonard Eddies coming on, 254. If you recall, he was batting like one. He was batting Austin Barnes territory. Sorry to bring it up. Jose Ramos, 2 for 4. No Ks. That's good. Good. 250. Was it 253? Diego, 1 for 4. Come on, my man. 189. A lot. You know what? That's a good point. Double A hitters look tired in the second half. Yeah, I think a few of these guys do. And I think maybe some of the pitching too. Because the second half hasn't been as good as the first, other than the Loons in high A. They're just really good. All right, Diego. So the Yusniel Diaz, 1 for 4. Brandon Lewis, 0 for 5. Dang. Cody Hosey, 1 for 5. Alcantara, 2 for 5. I want to say Sandy. That's not Sandy. Let's see. Okay, big story here. Kyle Hurt is really doing well. I know the ERA, you go, oh, it's a little much, and he gave up 2 runs, but it's only 2 hits. The key, 2 walks, 7 Ks. His ratios have been really good. Let's see, Tanner Dodson, still a better season, way better than last year. Antonio, it's a little shocking. It's a bad one. Vanasco, that's the guy they got for Luis Valdez. I still hate that trade. Jordan Leisure, good as usual. Braden Fisher gave up the winner one. Look at that. It's a walk. Who do you like best in AA? Who do I like best in AA? Of these players, Vivas is a friend of mine, so I'm going to go with that. And then Diego Cartaya has been really, really good to me. So, in terms of fares, I just go, and Austin's been great. Most of these, I've dealt with almost all these guys in a good way. I'd say about half of them, about half the pitchers too. Antonio Knowles is a really good guy. I think I kind of like that. Do the Dodgers see something in Yusniel Diaz, or did they just get him back to make the Machado trade look even better? I looked at his numbers, and even when he was with the Dodgers, it wasn't that impressive. Now, maybe he was younger. He was younger at the time. It was 5 years ago. Almost 5 years ago, almost to the day. Are we getting close to it? Or, pretty close. I think it was July 18th or 19th. I just think it was like, well, people knew him and held him in high regard, and so they gave him a shot. But he's in AA and hitting 232, and he's getting up there. And so I think he debuted briefly with the Orioles, and that was about it. So I'm glad he did make it, but I don't know, he might be that might be it. Unless he finds something. But that's the thing. The Dodgers are always looking for ways to unlock people. They must see talent in him, and anyone they sign, they see something that we don't see. A new wave. What, more talent? I think there's a lot. Except for the Philip Frasso. Yeah. So here's the deal. You're right about the new wave, because there's going to be a new wave soon, because especially the guys that were drafted out of college are going to be coming up. And it's going to be within the next 2-3 weeks. They're coming up. I'm really looking forward to that. But that means people are going to get moved up. And so you're going to see... What the heck? Hold on, just real quick. I'll get to that later. OKC 63 and 31. But yeah, a lot of these guys are going to be moving up. And you'll see that. And the bad thing is there will be people that are going to be released. We already know that there's going to be some moves, next week. But yeah, Frasso, I want to see him. I want to see him in AAA. It's time for them to. I think some of the guys that might get released are some of the guys that are quad AAA guys leaving. They're there for insurance. Season's kind of running out, and the trade deadline's coming. I think the Dodgers will do something. They have to free up some log jam a little bit. So we'll see. They're going to wait till after the trade deadline, I'm sure, to start releasing guys. I don't know if there's any of these players are on rosters yet, so they don't count against their. I think it's 180 or 185 that they're allowed. Next year it's only like 165, which is terrible. Let's see. Wish the Dodgers could do a better job identifying shortstop prospects in the draft international. Yoendis Vargas might be their first hit in the shortstop position. Yeah, that guy. I think he's untouchable. If he's traded, I will be shocked, and he'll probably take a week off. If they so I don't know if I said it before. My three untouchables that I think are untouchable, I'll be shocked if they're traded, are Josue DePaula, they call him Depot, um, Yoendes Vargas, and Maddox Bruns. Those are what I think are the untouchables. I think everyone else is, quote, touchable. I'm going to put this on pause. Yeah, turn the focus out there. Did not disturb. Sorry about that. I hope that Single A Statcast will be introduced. Boy, you're not kidding. I mean, it's fun to go through those things and see what they've got. I want to see more about, just more of those numbers. I look at Rancho, and I was at Lake Elsinore on Thursday watching the Quakes, and man, you don't know what those guns are saying. We just have no idea. Let's see. Let's see something real quick here. I'm just going to go to this. Do I think that Yoendes Vargas goes straight to single A? No, he's only 17. He will go next year. He's in the Dominican League this year, right? And then next year will be a little ACL, and then halfway through he'll go up, just like Josue. And then Sammy Munoz is going to be coming from ACL to Rancho, I think, also along with some draft picks. And it's going to be mostly the college guys that are brought up to Rancho. They'll go straight. They'll do like a handful of ball games in the ACL, and that's about it. Okay, yeah. How much do you think the Dodgers are going to need to overpay to get the guys they want? Will they deal higher quality prospects or more guys instead? Boy, it's the big duh, but of course it's going to depend on, let's just compare two guys, and they're on the same team, and two players that I'd like to get, Dylan Cease and Lucas Giolito. I want them both. Would both be really good additions. I'll take one of them. To get Dylan Cease, it's going to take two of our top 10s, and that probably one in the top 5, one in the top 6 through 10, and then it's going to be similar to the trade where they got Scherzer and Trey Turner, which was that was their two of their top prospects, and then Carrillo was like in the top 20-ish, top 25, and then Donovan. Can't remember his last name. I just was looking him up the other day. Gosh darn it. Old man. Yeah, so it's going to cost a lot for Cease. For Giolito, I might give up one top 10 just because it's, just depends on the competition. I still think, and I tweeted out, I think the Padres are gonna be buyers, and so they are in a position where you look at their payroll, they're jacked over the next few years, and Soto next year, it's his last year with the Padres, probably is my guess, and then Snell and Hader are free agents this year, and Snell's value and his agent, was Boris, and he's had a really good year, so that's the way it is. Yeah, I think the Dodgers drafted these over. Yeah. Hosey. Yeah, Cody Hosey was a rough one. Yeah, that was a rough one. Yeah, I think the guys that are more likely to be traded, and this is what the Dodgers will try to do. They'll try to trade guys, even though they're starters now, they're projected as relievers. I have my thoughts on that, on who the relievers are. But I can't read his mind. I can't read Friedman's mind. I wish I could. I'd really like to hear what his mind. But I think that they're going to try to trade a guy that's more projectable as a reliever than as a starter, and it's what they think. It's that's all top double secret information. You ask these couches, hey, what do you think about such and such? Oh yeah, that guy's going to be a. We like him as a starter. We're gonna blah 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 as a starter. Blah 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 blah. And they need to have the company line, and it's trade secrets because you're trying to get the best. Now, Josiah Gray, I mean, really, they got a Hall of Famer and maybe a Hall of Very Good for, Keibert Ruiz, who is a really nice catcher. He's no Will Smith. We see that. But he's a solid catcher. I thought he'd be better than Will Smith. So I was wrong about that. He's still younger than probably Will Smith when he debuted. I'm going to raise this up just a little bit. Maybe not. Let's see. I don't think Friedman will trade any of the Tulsa arms for Giolito or any rentals. Even Rosenthal was saying how hyped LA is over the rotation. Yeah, I don't know if you remember, I did a reaction to that one. That's the only time I've done a reaction video because that was such a good one. At the time, there was, 6 guys there. And there's more coming. Bruns is coming soon. He's just got to get a few more walks down. But he's a good one. While we're there, let's take a quick look. So, we didn't really cover OKC. So Michael Busch, 3 for 3, 2 dongs, or 3, 2 nukes. He was the man. 4 RBIs. He drove in almost all the runs. Let's see. Drew Avens had it. Yeah, he used 2 for 4. And then we had Cole Calhoun. He might hold on to him because if someone goes down, Vivas, Knack, Kubik for Giolito seems fair. Oh, killing me. I like those. Here's hepatitis C later. These are it's personal with me because I know Vivas really well, and as much I'm not quote. I don't know. He calls me Pappy, and I always talk with Pete. Peter's great. And I met Landon once, and he was really really cool. So, I think it'll take less. I mean, all 3 of these guys are definitely top 30 guys. I'd have Knack in the top 10, probably. So it might take a Knack and then one other. I don't think you need to do 2, but it just, it's rough. I wouldn't be surprised, though. I mean, it's going to go crazy. And one thing that Friedman will not do, he's not going to go too far. He will not give up with who he thinks is a future superstar. He didn't trade Gavin Lux, and he didn't trade Dustin May back in 2018, in the Machado trade. I remember I went there. I got my first media pass there after the trade deadline. And that was, I was talking with a couple of players, and they were like, oh, yeah, Gavin and Dustin, they thought they were gone. Now, Dustin, of course, is at Tommy John, and Gavin's knee's bad, but hopefully, it got wrecked. Hopefully it gets unwrecked. Price might go up. No, you're right. And like I said, that's why Friedman will hold on to what, and when I say Friedman, I mean the whole organization. They do, they do their thing. I mean, the whole organization will go and they do all that work. I can't wait. There's a Backstage Dodgers that covers the draft, and the draft room's huge. There's 30 people there. So unlike a lot of teams that got rid of their scouts, they did not get rid of their scouts. Thank goodness. Let's go back to this real quick. Devin Mann played shortstop. I know it's been doing that, but it's like I just haven't seen it much. Let's see. David Dahl. Man, that guy I thought he was going to be so good. So one of the things that did happen, it was gross. Within 2 innings, Busch, Mann, and Vargas had errors. It was so bad. It was just, oh, Lord. But Michael Busch is playing a lot of third, we need to see that. I would like to see him in left field also. Peralta's a 1-year guy. probably, but you never know. I really like Peralta and Hayward on the team just as chemistry, so they don't want to let go too much. Jimmy Nelson came in, was a little shaky, to be honest with you. So the big story for me, of course, is Gavin Stone. This is, I don't know, I would say, I'm going to pull it up. His third not crappy start in a row, which is an improvement. He was struggling. He was really struggling. I just want to pull up his game log. Let's see. So here he is. So today, here he is today, right here, the 23rd. And then before that, he went 6. It was 7 hits and 4 runs. I get it. 1 was a home run. Before that was, 6 innings. But if you look, in 17 innings, there's 2 walks. Okay, that's what we need. That's way better. So that was part of the issue. Let's go to the beginning. I mean, 3 walks, none, 4, 1, 2, 2. But these are, they just were piling up. And so his numbers haven't been, what they should be with his stuff. But I'm not worried. He's had a rough time in the major leagues. I think we all admit he was brought up quick. Everything just kind of piled up on the Dodgers. And let's be honest, how cool is it that the Dodgers are in first place? Given all the injuries. We've talked about them, all the call-ups. I mean, this has been an amazing season to be a prospect dork like I am. Just all these players to their, when I got that press pass, July 6th, it was, I'm in a corner and there's just 4 rookies and they weren't even all there. I mean, there were 4 rookies that were right there. And I'm like, this is my place. This is my side. Everyone, they kind of put the rookies mostly on one side. And, it was really cool. Outman was there and, Sheehan, Robertson, and DeLuca. They were all there. So, I'm on the wrong scene, aren't I? Let's go to the monitor scene. There we go. So I'm pulling up the draft tracker. So you guys didn't see the Gavin Stone stuff. Dang it, I am sorry. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Hit me up on that. If I'm talking and not making sense, but apologize for that. Let me do something real quick here. I'm running out of memory a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But everything, as long as everything seems okay, we're good. So, yeah, Stone, like I said, the walks. The walks were down, and they continue to go down. Yeah, 4 games up. I'll take it. And so one of the things I don't want, I don't know if I've said this before, I don't want the Dodgers to run away with it. I want some team to be chasing them, playing well, and make the Dodgers continue to play well, put the pressure on them. Last year, they clinched it basically in June. There was no pressure for the rest of the season until the playoffs, and they got spanked. And, I know all the scores of those games were close. They got spanked. They got beat by a team they should have swept those clowns. Sorry, but I don't have a lot of respect for some of those players on that team. And I think, they're led by Machado, clown. Good player, great player. They're all great players, that's the thing. But they need to go. I don't want them to clinch it until the last week of the season. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see. Keep them pushing, keep the gas, just keep the pedal to the metal. At the same time, be smart with your pitchers. But at least if you have a week, it gives you a bit of time. They're already being careful with Kirsch. I still don't believe the narrative there that he's but I think there's still more to it. They're just delaying it. So let's go to the draft tracker. Why do they have Darvish here? It's because I'm in San Diego and they're so smart with my location. They throw you Darvish on my page. Come on, you guys got to be better with that, with your intelligence. All right, Dodgers draft tracker, courtesy of our friends at True Blue LA. These guys are awesome. Yeah, not too close. Yeah, 2021, they were toast after that. That caused them, having to go, they pitched Scherzer game one, or that wild card. He only went like 4, maybe 5. I can't remember. So Kendall George signed a bit under. Was it 500,000 under? Jake Geloff, about the same. Brady Smith about the same. Wyatt Crowell, a little up. Dylan Campbell right here, right there. That's the guy. I still think he signs. I think he's like a 4th-year junior. They always lie about injuries. Yeah. Like, well, he's going to be out a day. Okay, I'll see you in 2-3 months. Eric Swan, got him for about the same, about the slot. Vetrano. See, any of these guys that say, college, we're going to see this guy. At Rancho, we're going to see Eric Swan probably. Pitchers a little less. Sometimes they'll be careful with them. Brian Gonzalez, shortstop. He was a little over slot. Patrick Copen, about the same. Jaron Elkins. Oh, he got some, didn't he? So he was a high school guy. Yeah, I respect Keith Law and the Dodgers. People just don't know. There's a bunch of wild cards in here, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay, they do lie a lot. I remember Doc said last year when Tony Gonsolin went down with the injury that they caught it early and they were playing it safe. That dude he didn't recover for the rest of the year anyway. He shouldn't have been pitching. He should not have been pitching, especially in the postseason, where season takes a toll on him. I think it's the splitter. I think that's what does it to him. I just don't know if he's throwing it right. I should reach out to Dave Stewart. It's been a while since I've talked to him. I'd like to know. Let's see. So Ryan Brown, got him, slot. Mongeli. We got him under. He must have been a senior. So the seniors, they're the ones that get really screwed with these things. Let's see. Carson Hobbs signed. So we got everybody signed, except we do not have. Jackson Jelkin. Yeah, I remember seeing that was a risk. Didn't work out. He's going to, I think, University of Houston. Best of luck. We got Javen Coleman and Luke Fox, and then the quarterback. I'm not going to try the name. I'm going to call him DJ. DJ quarterback. So we need to get Dylan Campbell on board, and then we'll see what the rest is. But hey, it's really good they got all these guys signed. I think they did throw some risk in here. One of these was for Tyler Anderson. One of these was for Trey Turner. God, Tyler Anderson got ERA over 5. Good Lord. It's insane. I really wanted him back, but part of it also is going to a different organization. But it sounds like and I remember talking with Doug McCain about this. I always throw his name out there because that's the guy I talked to a lot about baseball. He's like, yeah, that the shift. He benefited so much from the shift. So okay, and Doug's good and he knows his stuff. And plus, thanks Doug again for the shout out on your show today. I always appreciate that. I got to reach out to him. We need to do a show before the trade deadline. I haven't even brought it to my team yet, but I plan on having, I'm going to invite the whole team to be on next Sunday or sometime. Yeah, probably next Sunday. I'll get who I can to talk trades. We'll do that. Who knows? Something may have already been done. But we'll get that on Zoom. It's gonna look different, but we can we'll definitely be doing the chat. I'm thinking someday I might throw a Zoom line out to everybody, and whoever wants to call in can call in. That might be a fun show. But that won't be next weekend. We'll have. I almost guarantee I get Trinidad on here, and we'll go from there. Trinidad's he's all into it. And then yeah, we'll see. I'll reach out to them because usually I think Trinidad doesn't work on Sunday. And then let's see. The other thing I'll be doing, yeah, you know, yeah, hoping that Brian Gonzalez ends up being that gem shortstop that fell in the draft, like the Jordan Walkers, yeah, Bichette, yeah, Gunner, yeah. I mean, we have a lot of really good shortstops in the system. They're all lower. The best one at the best highest one right now that's a real shortstop is Leonard. But below that, there's a lot of talent. We've had, Sean McLean's been hurt. He got hurt again. I'm an Alex Freeland guy. It's been a little rough this year, but I still believe in him. I think Donkon, it looks like he's going to be probably not as much shortstop. I still believe in Wilman Diaz, man. The guy's been good so far. And, he's out there very confident. He's still I think he just turned 20, if that. So I'm going to give him a break. And then from just pure defensive wise, and he's good offensively too, is Jose Izada. Last year they drafted so many shortstops. Logan Wagner is the third baseman. I haven't heard from him. Nothing from that guy. I don't even see anything hardly on his Instagram. He's usually showing church stuff, which is, pretty cool. So, trade deadline day. So the trade deadline is 3 p.m. Yeah. Why do you think the two Tommy John guys haven't signed yet? Maybe slot payment's too low for their liking. It could be. The thing is, do you want to rehab with college or do you want to rehab with the Dodgers? They have to think about long term. What you don't. It's kind of like walking out of a car deal over $100. Do you do that and walk away from the car you want over $100? And that's, I remember my parents did that a long time when $100 went a lot more, and they regretted that later. They go, what? Huh? It was a little transaction issue, and it was weird. But in these pitchers, that they're going to go to college, they're going to come back from Tommy John. They're not going to be treated as well as they would be with the Dodgers, and they're going to be thrown back in probably too quick, because these guys got scholarships and all that type of stuff. And then I was going to look at those two guys again at their age. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Yeah. Well, Sal, can't even think trading Barnes during national trade to bring up Ruiz. Yeah. But Barnes didn't have a ton of value even then. Ruiz had all the value. He just needed to play. Ruiz still right now would be bouncing up and down because they love Barnes. We know that. But so back to these pitchers right here. These two guys. They're looking, I know it's their career, and they have to look at their career as a long-term investment. And so one of the investments you have to make into your career is the right people. And sometimes that may not be where all the money is. So I would be very cautious for anyone with Tommy John coming out of college that gets drafted and has a chance to get, it's probably 100,000. I mean, that's the slot there is 100,000. They would get 100,000 and maybe a little bit more. Right now they are under it by 187,000, so they still have their draft pick. They're probably the number 4. They're 4 compensatory with Dylan Campbell, and he's so they're probably trying to work that, which might feed into that right there. So, two lefties. Let's bring them. We need some lefties. We've got a million righties. And Sal, by the way, good to see you, man. Let's see. So real quick, anyone else want to check in? Where are you at? Give me a state. You can give a city if you want. Said I'm in Escondido, California. But these guys here, it's an investment in themselves. And I've gone, I know people, they've got kids, they're in San Diego, they're all Padres fans, but they want the Dodgers to draft them. So think about that. These are smart people. They know what they're doing. They know what's up. Yay. So, Sally, let me know if you're going to get out to Rancho again this year. I'd like to meet up with you again. That was cool last year. Sal's not his real name. I'm not going to give it, though. Let's see. So, yeah, it's an investment, folks. And so they got to just make it, they got to make decisions for themselves what's best for their career. So I'm rooting for the kids to sign with the Dodgers. It is best for them. So we'll see. Let's see. Right-handed bats. Do we need one, first of all? I need to learn how to do a poll on here. I wonder if I could do that. Ooh, I could. Start a poll. I was going to write... I'm going to say, should the Dodgers not trade for a right-handed bat and go with DeLuca? All right, let's try. I have not done this before, so let's give this a shot. Hopefully I didn't. Oh, right-handed bay, not bat. All right, here we go. See how this works. There it is. DeYoung, you mean the guy from St. Louis? The shortstop? That's interesting. I haven't really thought about him in a while. Dodgers haven't listed their non-drafted free agents yet. Yeah. I know, in that same... Wef and Ortiz Meyer, but also Austin Gauthier. Right, Yasiel? That would be classic. Oh, okay. I haven't looked at that. When you think about the St. Louis stuff, Arenado, I get it. I totally get it. I mean, he's the kind of the one that got away. In some ways, so it's kind of an interesting thing there, because we never had a chance to get him from what you call it, the stupid Rockies. Let's see, vote in the poll, please, and we'll try. I want to try more stuff like that. I wish I had a producer, but I am the producer. It's tough to do. It's like, okay, all these things going on at once, but it's fun. I have a good time doing this. So right-handed bats, that's the topic of the day. Should the Dodgers just keep DeLuca as their guy? Tommy Edman, yeah, I like him too. Local guy. I'm just waiting to see the Cardinals doing their selling. I go back to the end of the day. I still want Jordan Montgomery, number 1 from that team. And I want Jordan Hicks, number 2. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me know. It'll be fun. They're just always fun. Yeah, Flaherty. I'm not a huge Flaherty guy right now. That'd be a big trade. Flaherty. Did you see? None of those guys. All those guys are free agents, and so I'm giving up. Oh, I think that's too much. Stone, Frasso, and Busch. I mean, Busch are number 2. Stone's top 5. Frasso's right on the edge of 10. I'm getting a little dry throat. Another prospect on the 40 man. Ooh, that'd be rough. It would help us at short in some ways. I mean, even though I do like, I gotta admit, I tweeted out, follow my Twitter, please, at Tim Rogers 2080. I did that whole subscription thing. I'm farting around. See what happens. Give my money to a billionaire. Why not? But I love it how Mookie plays the infield for 7 innings and then goes to right field for the last 2. Makes their defense better all the way around when he's out for the last 2 innings. I'm a huge fan of that type of stuff. Having your best defense at the end of the game, especially with the lead. Without a lead, you just got to go for offense, right? But yeah. Yeah, I'm not a Flaherty guy. I would if you got to throw Montgomery instead of Flaherty. I know people like Flaherty because he's a Californian and he seems to align with the politics of a lot of folks in Los Angeles, and it's like I want good. I want the best, and Montgomery's been really good. The thing is, he's another lefty, but it's funny. All of our prospects, they're coming up to help our righties. And then, of course, we still got Gonsolin and I guess Syndergaard's still around. But then, our 2 aces, I'm going to do aces, sorry about that, but one's injured and one has been mediocre, good and bad. We got Julio and Clayton. With our real ace is Walker Buehler, but he's still out too. So Montgomery would be, he would be a playoff starter for sure. And so that would make 3 of our starters to be lefties. Yeah, I'm not. Maybe Montgomery just got blown out at BSJ. Well, maybe it lowers his value. Always remember, there's a machine here in Los Angeles. There's the pitching lab with Mark Pryor, and I think they can help whoever comes. It's got to be quick though. I mean, they got to be quick learners and ready to learn. So they'll also take that into account. And maybe they can help Flaherty. But, I think in terms of value, I think his value is a little bit down. So maybe they can get him for, and some would say, we just need to burn innings. And I do agree we do need to burn innings because all of our young guys are not going to be able to, they're not going to make it into October. Some might, but I don't see that as a real good bet. I know there's a lot of people, and I get it. And as a prospect hugger, I totally get it. But just because we want to get more help for the team doesn't mean we're giving up on the prospects or not, quote, trusting them. We have to look at history. History says pitchers break. History says young pitchers wear out. History says Tony Gonsolin wears out. History says Clayton Kershaw gets hurt. So there's a lot of ifs. And so last 2, 2021, 2022, they ran out of pitching. Straight up. Scherzer was toast. They abused Walker. Pitching on 3 days rest. Twice. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible what they did to Walker Buehler. Shouldn't have done that. Let's see. So you got to I'd rather have more than less. And people go, well, put it this way. I think the Dodgers, if they go make a move, and at the same time, let's just say Emmett Sheehan just starts dominating. He will make the playoff roster over the Joey Gallo equivalent, if that happens, of a pitcher. Don't forget we got Ryan Papio coming. Let's see. I want Johnny to get a shot as a bench bat in October, but it's tempting to get Kike and his clutchness back. Anyway, to have Johnny and Kike on. I don't know if they can get both on the bench. Someone have to. Well, let's see. So Kike has been really bad this year. I'm a huge fan of Kike. I think he plays the game really well in the right way. Even though he seems like a goof, he's not a goof on the field. And then so if you were to get, so right now we have Toluca and we have Joni Hernandez. So if we get Kike, then Joni would go. Probably. There's also Vargas could be coming back. I don't know. I'm not sure he's quite ready yet. I watched him a little bit today. Made an error, got some walks, but he's had a nice role, but he's also the numbers really aren't quite there yet. Yeah, I mean he has been terrible, but in October everyone starts at 0. He's a big game player, and that's the one thing you do bank on. And I also think that he's in a losing situation. He's in a losing situation, and he's probably not getting the best out of who he is. So maybe there's something to that. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna close the poll in about 5 minutes. So maybe Kike comes here and dominates and is happy again, even though he's got to know he's a role player. He's a platoon player. That's it. And then he's probably gone at the end of the year again. Even though I still think someday he's going to be great, either guy on MLB Network or announcer. He's fantastic. You can try to trade a vet trade. Yeah, Tyler O'Neill. Yeah, Kike. And then pivot to DeLuca if needed due to performance injury. See, I'm with you there. Get more. Have guys, go get extra, and may the best man win. Now, of course, the issue becomes you can only have 26 men on the roster. Then it becomes 28 in September. So you'll have a glut of people, but they'll fake it around. They'll go, well, we're going to put this guy on the injured list, and he's going to go to Arizona and work on his blah blah. It's work on his swing is what they're going to do, like with Barnes maybe. Yeah, I hate to see that too. But yeah, I think the odds are that Kike's in trouble, but it's quite a drop off. He wasn't. 2021 was really good in the playoffs. So I got a friend of mine who's going, what, the Dodgers get rid of Kike? It's like, get rid of him. He left. He wanted to play full time. And I don't remember him being bad last year. It's just this year's been terrible. So I don't know what it is. Something went wrong. Maybe he's been hurt. I don't know. The Dodgers I think they'll do the right thing about Kike. If he can come back, how great would that be? Love to see him be, I know he was on the 2020 team. Thank goodness that they got that W. But to also get a parade. A lot of those guys didn't get a parade, and they really didn't get their flowers, and we didn't either as fans. Yeah, Flaherty could be reclamation project in the offseason. Yeah, and he's going to be free agent, so you get him then and do the reclamation. And, that's a really good point, because we know that the Dodgers are good at that. Hasn't worked out with Syndergaard yet, and I don't think it's going to. But they do know that, Andrew Heaney was better last year. Tyler Anderson was better last year. They were good with the Dodgers. And so the problem is, of course, then they become a free agent. And then teams sign them, and then they might learn a lesson and go, I'm not going to do that because they leave the Dodgers. They're not so good. Let's see. Way too many guys in the 40-man. Yeah. There's so many, all the DL guys, you're right. Yeah. I expect a small blockbuster move off. I think small blockbuster. I agree. Somehow you have to move a lot of guys off. Of course, the other question would be, what about other teams? What do they have on their 40-man? Yeah. Ooh, Kike seems like Braves type of player. Oh, I have to say, he might be going off versus LA in October. Let's hope not. Oh man. Oh man. It's rough to watch some of these guys that I've always liked. All of a sudden, they get on another team and they kill the Dodgers. I'm a huge Corey Seager fan. Went to his debut, met his parents, was sitting behind him at his debut, and huge fan of Corey. And yeah, to see him in a Ranger uniform sucks. I get it though. I really do get it. It still sucks. He should have. I wish he would have been a Dodger. I wish Belly would have been a Dodger. But Belly's was all about performance. Corey really was a risk with his injuries, and if they really did give him a said 8-year 280, like I'd heard, or was it 250, whatever. It's a lot of money. He could have taken it, but maybe he just didn't want to be in LA. There's always that too. Or, he wanted the bag, and he really, the real huge one, and you don't go with Scott Boras unless you really want to get the most. And that's why Julio's a risk. And anyone that's with Boras, that's what they do. And that's why he's a great agent. He's the best. He's probably the best of all time, in my opinion. I know there's some good football ones and all that, but for what he's done for his players, and he gets them paid. And at the end of the day, when you're retired, it's really, they got more, and it's generational wealth. And I don't know if I told, I got a friend of mine, his kid, a kid I used to coach, he's with Boris now. And it's interesting, the guy takes care of everybody. And I ran into Boris after it all happened, and we talked about the kid, and he knew a lot about the kid. And this is a kid that was still just being drafted. So let's see, who are you excited to see come up in 2 years? In 2 years, I'm still excited about Diego Cartaya. I am. But I'm probably just as excited or more. It's going to surprise you. Josue DePaul is going to be knocking on the door in a couple years. Mark my words. I think he's if you can, go to my YouTube videos and look at the DePaula's swings and stuff. It's clean. It's just clean. In the eye there, he's got such a great eye. He doesn't strike out a ton. He did strike out today in the last inning. But it's pretty. And then just from a personal perspective, I'll probably cry if Yorbit Vivas makes it up. He's really a good human. So that's one I'd really like to see. He's just the nicest person. So let's see. I think Josue is going to be in the top 100 this offseason. Yeah, so he is good, isn't he? It's pretty, isn't it? Left-handed swings, man. There's something about him. Yeah, so I do think Josue will be in the top 100 this offseason. I'll be shocked if he's not. He's 18 years old, and he's doing really well up at Rancho. He's not perfect, but he's doing well. He's he is. It seems like he's pretty fast. I saw him steal a base, and I did have my little calculator on my phone, and so I got him going on the stolen base with the leadoff though. 321. That's probably not correct, but I also timed him on the home to first. I haven't timed that way because it's on the same phone that's in which I have my calculator. I need to have two phones out, or just a stopwatch or something like that. Yeah. How about Ward? So Ryan Ward, waiting to see. He's had it's been a little rough this year. I know he got promoted, the middle of the year, or not earlier this year. I think he'll have another year of AAA. Devin, he should be here. Guy's done everything that organization has asked him to do, and he's still down. Will the Dodgers trade Devin, man? It's only fair that they should. They should trade him and Hunter Fiducia if they're not going to bring him up. Those are two guys that should have already been up. Straight up. Hunter Fiducia could do what Austin Barnes is doing. I mean, and I don't want to pick on Austin Barnes too much. And I know the whole clubhouse, and he is the captain of that team. I get it. Again, you don't cut him. You don't trade him. You put him on the injured list. He goes down to Rancho a little bit or goes somewhere. Rancho, it's his home area, right? He's a Riverside guy. Let him go work on his swing there. And then see if he's got it. But they should have someone else. Either you go with Hunter or you make a trade. Cannot go with him as your catcher, or as a bench option in the playoffs. That would be bad. But he's a coach, he'd still be with the team and all that. He would just be injured. Got to play that phantom list. Let's see. He's Leonard. I agree. Juan Uribe look-alike. Yeah, but ain't nobody like freaking Juan Uribe. No, but our whole family was so mad about that trade. Eddie's he's in better shape than Juan, that's for sure. But guy, you gotta love Uribe, and no one can pimp out like Juan Uribe. Now, if you could just go back and look at some of those pictures with him and Hyun-Jin Ryu, or some of you go way back to like 2014, 2013, Hanley Ramirez, his Instagram. Talking about Uribe, you call him Go Uribe. Will the Dodgers trade River Ryan? I think it's a possibility. I think just about any prospect is on the table. I think they have to be. It doesn't mean you're going to trade them all. I think you have. First of all, you have to make some room for some dudes. Like I said, the draft is coming. You got to promote guys, and they have to make some decisions. Is River Ryan a starter or reliever? I don't know. What do the Dodgers think of that? If they think he's a reliever, I'm just using River as an example. I'm sorry, River. River's a good dude too. Met him a few times. Had a lot of chats with him. Not a lot, but enough. When he was at Rancho the short time, a couple. I shouldn't exaggerate. But River, is he a reliever? I don't know. Is Emmett Sheehan a reliever? Is Bobby Miller a reliever? These are all the questions. If they think they're a reliever, that's the guy they're going to trade. So, hint, any starter of the Dodgers trade, any starting pitcher of the Dodgers trade, 90% chance they think that he would be a better reliever. Okay. On a different topic, I read an article today predicting the man for Hall of Fame. Utley, yeah, I want him in. His career though is short because he started so late, like at 20. He was 26 years old, but he had a really good prime, and I hope they take that into consideration. A huge Utley fan, just huge. That guy was. I like that grit. That's for sure. Good grit though, because he was a really good player. I don't like guys that are just gritty, and they're not good. So, give me good grit, and he's a good one. Yeah, Utley for Hall of Fame. I hope it happens. I think it will. I do. Breaking that guy's leg though, of course it wasn't on purpose, which is the dumbest thing. The Utley rule. There's people like there's a few of them out there. You know who they are. Some of those big writers that are Mets fans. They still think he did it on purpose, and they wanted him suspended for a year. John Heyman. I don't know if he said suspended for a year, but I remember he was pissed about that. Yeah, you wish the trade market was better this year. Dodgers have the ammo. They do. They have the ammo, and I think that's why I don't give up on Dylan Cease. I think he's a big one. I think that's a big one they can get if they really want him. It's up. If the White Sox want to do it, the White Sox they can't keep doing what they're doing. Maybe the Dodgers take someone else off their hands. How about bring back Grandal as our backup? That would be hilarious. But he's a switch hitter off the bench would be nice. Um, then they do have the Kenny Middleton, Joe Kelly, Kendall Graveman in the bullpen. So you package up some things like that. Dodgers got to get someone from the White Sox. There's so much talent that's available on the White Sox. Any chance Ron Say will become a Hall of Famer? No, I don't think so. But that's a guy so underrated. If you look at his numbers, he's borderline. He was right there. That guy was a really good ball player. And, he was overshadowed by Mike Schmidt and George Brett. And then Pete Rose also played third. So he didn't get as much love as he could have. Those are great players. Those are Hall of Famers. Well, of course, Pete would be in the Hall of Fame, but he's an idiot. He's a jerk, too. He really is. I had a thing with him when I was a kid. He's a wanker. They have their own, but there isn't a lot out there that's worth. The realistic names are almost like it'd be an overpay, like Giolito. Yeah, that's true. I think that's true. But the Dodgers will try. They're gonna go try for something, and they could. I don't mind. Put it this way. I don't mind an overpay for somebody with a couple years after this year that they can keep. I do mind an overpay for someone like Giolito, because he's a 3, maybe. I'd actually almost like him as a 4. Cease would be a strong 2, maybe even a little bit of a 1. I'd like that. They're gonna go hard for Giolito. They have to. But there's gonna be 18 other teams. I think there's 18 teams over 500, so they're all in the playoff run, and that doesn't include the Padres, who will be in the lead. And in fact, can you guys imagine? Can you all imagine this with the Padres, even if they're out of it, going and getting somebody just because they knew the Dodgers were in on it? They would do that. I think they're so petty. I think Preller and all. I think there's pettiness. I know the Diamondbacks would do that, but they're in it. It's Kelly, Middleton, Jordan Hicks. Yeah, I agree. More overpowering stuff. They don't have a lot of overpowering stuff right now in the bullpen. That's a problem. That is a problem. Yeah, these guys all bring it. And I would do that. I think they can get Kelly for a bucket of balls, just as long as they pay his contract. Middleton and Hicks will take something, but hey, a 20 through 25 prospect, something like that. Is there any rumors or articles linking the Dodgers to Cease? No, it's just people making up stuff, including myself. But I think the White Sox would be dumb to trade him, but they'd also be dumb to stand pat. They need to make some changes. And will they even be winners in 2 years, in the years that they have him, because they're losing so much? And hey, on the White Sox also, I think there are Ronaldo Lopez is another free agent, but he's a reliever now. So just a ton of talent on the White Sox. They just can't put it together. That La Russa thing was obviously a disaster, but it ain't just his fault. So look at the Padres. Well, don't, but because those uniforms are hideous. But with the Padres, they have a lot of talent, but they don't mix. They eventually still may get in the playoffs. I still think they will, because I think there's so much talent there. I think they get in, but they're not. That's a team that's always going to have it rough, because you got Machado, who thinks he's a leader. You have Tatis, who's proven to be selfish. He hasn't proven to be unselfish yet. I got to be honest, if he wants to really prove that it's not about him, go cut your hair, clean it up. I know it's very old school, but do that. Clean it up and make it not about you. But you can just tell everything he does is about himself. And then you have Soto, who seems to be playing for himself. He wants that contract. And so that's about another one. Oh, it's Thayron Liranzo, another top catcher. Yeah, I think so. Not yet, but he mashes. And, I've talked to some people. They like throwing to him. I think he's got some work to do still catching, and he is better from the left side than the right side. I asked him straight up, and but I like him. He also just turned 20. It's so much. He's a strong kid. Man. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so there's so many names out there, but if there was someone wrote, I think it was Dodgers Tailgate tweeted, they did a whole list of all the names that Bob Nightingale mentioned in his article today, and it's a pretty good article. It's put it this way, it's a fun speculative article, but he listed them all, and I just wrote, well, we know those guys are gonna get traded because it's Bob. Bob's every year at the winter meetings, he's the hardest working guy out there. Actually, Marty something, Kazel or something like that with the Padres, she was working her butt off there. Bob's all over the place, and he's willing to talk to people. Yeah, Padres should have waited 1 year before they handed out money like crazy. Now they're out on Ohtani. I don't know, but I think, yeah, they overpaid. Yeah, they're extending, well, for Bogarts, number one. That was just stupid. With Machado, they had to risk the opt out. They had to mitigate that. But it goes back to Tatis. You didn't need to pay a kid that had what, 100 and some games, 160 games under his belt after two seasons, one in which he got hurt. I mean, come on. So yeah, they gave that to Tatis. They didn't need to do that. They, of course, traded their farm system for Soto. I get it. I do get it. But it's the wrong team to do that with. And then, was it? Yeah, Bogarts was a terrible contract. Machado, you had to do. That is your franchise guy. Cronenworth oh my gosh, that was an unforced error. If you look at like Nick Martinez and Suarez's contracts, they're for relievers. Oh man, pitiful. Yeah, you go through the Waka thing. I get it. The what's that dork? Carpenter, Matt Carpenter, Mr. Salsa. That's a terrible contract. Nelson Cruz was only $1 million. Fine, that didn't work out. But I see them they're gonna do something. I mean, they're watching. Someone was saying, I can't remember who, so it's not me. Watch them go out and get Justin Turner. Friggin' hilarious. Yeah. If they give Shohei $600 million, they might go bankrupt. You can only give out so many long-term deals. I agree. But these people they got a ton of money, but they don't lose money themselves. It's just the organization. I don't know how that all works, but billionaires they're billionaires for a reason. And Peter Seidler is the main guy, and he wants to win. And I don't even think he's got it. I don't think he's got I don't think he's the big anti-Dodger. I think, but he wants to please the fans, because if they do win, the guy goes down as an absolute legend, and any player on that team is a legend automatically. Especially if like Machado leads him, it redeems him in so many different ways. But yeah, I think that Seidler wants to win really bad. So much he's willing to do stupid things. And then AJ Preller's playing for his job. And so if he has a chance, he's going to try to convince Seidler that he is that he's got the right deal. He's got the move. And so they really bought in on Preller. Preller's a great scout. He really understands young, foreign talent, and sometimes non-foreign, but it seems like teenage talent. 16 to 18-year-old talent. He's good at that. He's really good at it. But that's what he is. He's a scout. And if the Dodgers were to somehow, once he gets fired, and he should have been fired a long time ago, I'd hire that guy in a heartbeat, but as a scout and as a top scout. I'd give him a lot of money. Now they only have 1.5 years of Soto. That is true. That is true. That's the one guy. If they decided to sell, they really could still get a lot back for Soto. Next year, it'll be a different story. They would get 2 top 10s for Soto next year. And with the Dodgers, wouldn't be in it because they're not trading them to the Dodgers. This year, they could still get probably 4 really good ones back. And they should do that, but they're not. And I shouldn't say should, because I do believe that they're going to. I think they're going to make the playoffs. That's my bold prediction. And I'd like to get some redemption against them. That's for sure. But the real redemption, it's just this team. The redemption of this team isn't beating the Padres, because if they go beat the Padres, they go lose to like D-bags or the Giants or anybody. These are other than the Braves. The Braves are a really good team. They lose to anyone other than the Braves in the playoffs. It's a total failure. Last year, if they would have lost the Braves, I would say, hey, that's a really good team, maybe a better team. But losing to Padres was unacceptable. Dead team. Now they got a new heart. The heart of Miggy Rojas, the heart of David Peralta, the heart of Jason Hayward, the ever improving in terms of being out there and leadership, Mookie Betts. Yeah, you're not the only one to get Sal about going for Roki. Yeah, they'll go hard after him. They're going to be in on it. So are the Padres, though. I mean, that's but the real W is probably Shohei. But you give me there's the other guy. Is it Yamamoto? That's the other one coming too. And then there was the Korean outfielder. We talked about him last couple weeks ago. Do you think? All right. Does anyone? So I'm going to make this a question. So the contention is that the Padres can be out on Soto because the Soto payday is coming up. Do we actually think that Soto is going to re-sign with the Padres? And will the Padres give him what he wants? I'm going to say no. I don't think he likes playing with some of those clowns. And I think he's also maybe soured them a little bit because it seems like he's probably playing for himself. And he will go get the biggest bucks. And he does like, and we can't discount it. We saw it with Trey Turner. You can't discount the East Coast thing. And he wanted to go back and go play in Philly with Bryce Harper and Trey Turner. And even Kyle Schwarber. I mean, I think he'd love to do that. And, with even on the East Coast, they're closer to home. So, and I respect that. Yeah, I don't think so. Signs the Padres. It would be, if at the end of the day, let's add something up. So I don't know what taxes are like in Philly, or in Pennsylvania, but we know in California and New York they're terrible. They're confiscatory, and for someone in California, state of California will take 13% of Soto's salary every flipping year. Seager goes to the Rangers. He signed for 10, was it 325, 330, whatever it was. The equivalent for him, for the Dodgers to match it, would have been $401 million instead of the 325. So that's a lot of money. I don't care how much you're making. You don't leave 75 million on the table because you want to play with your friends. Maybe you can, but Boris wouldn't want that. He would talk you out of it. So the Dodgers would have had to pay that much to be equivalent. Um, I get it. I get it, and I'm just going to contend that I love California. I've been here all my life, but we have a serious, serious problem in our big cities here, and it's worse than other places. I've spent more time in Florida, in Orlando because our son's there, and more time in the Austin area. So Austin's got a homeless problem, but outside of it, there's no homeless problem. Florida, I saw less than 10. I can see 10 homeless people on my way to work within the first 5 minutes. And you drive up and it, not all you go up to LA, but you drive up to LA, it's terrible. It's depressing. It's sad. It gets you to see it every day, and then it starts hardening you, which really sucks. I hate that. I don't like having a hard heart. Yeah, so I think there's real issues with California, and even Shohei. I don't know what Seattle's like right now, but maybe he wants to go there. Let's see. Dodgers could be in trouble next year if Kershaw and Urias both move on. Oh, they're gone. No, I don't know about that. I think hopefully get one more year of Kershaw. I really want to see him get his 3,000 strikeout and his parade. But I do think Urias moves on. Just if he doesn't want the money, you shouldn't have Boris as an agent. And he's really played himself out of a big contract, or at least what he should have been. Yeah, Sal. You couldn't agree more. Born and raised. Yep. Sad. Freaking sad. Man. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you too, huh? Agreed regarding California. Born and raised. Yeah. Losing your age free agency seemed like a nightmare last. Yeah, it is a nightmare last season. Well, it seemed like a nightmare last season. Yeah, not so much this year because he's not doing so well, and it's a nightmare for him. And I love Julio too. Again, I've told you, went to New York to see him, his debut. Yes, a little bit of insanity. It was one of the greatest things my wife and I did, other than having our kids as a married couple. We had such a blast. Yeah, he could. Kershaw retiring at the end of the year. He's got those four kids, and they're the Callie's already in school, and I'm sure Charlie probably in school too. You don't want to be lifting your kids up in and out of school. I don't know. Frankly, I'm just saying, if I'd doing it again, and I did not do this with my kids, but if I'm doing now, they would either charter or homeschool, especially in California. Maybe not. I don't know about Texas, where he's at. I don't know. Sal's predicting he retires. I'm not. I'm going to say he goes one more. I think he talks about he doesn't care about the stats, but I think I wouldn't be surprised even if his wife told him, "Hey, 3,000 strikeouts." And why would he do it anywhere else? I don't care about the Rangers. If they sign with the Rangers, and God bless him if he does, and God bless him if he retires. But one more year with the Dodgers would be really good. Get the 3,000 strikeout, and get a ring. I think next year is going to be another great year. Payroll is healthy. Yeah, and Freddie's got 4 more after this. Yeah, Mookie's a freaking legend. Just truly right now. I know Shohei's great. I get it. But Mookie's my favorite to watch. And because the things he does on the field, the little things, other than he had that one game where he had 2 base running errors, which is insane. But, he does so many good things on the field. The Dodgers, they always, without fail, unless number 50 is on third base, their contact play always fails unless Mookie's out there. And Freeman is on fire. What a signing. I mean, jeez. Braves, oh, you're so stupid. I know Matt Olson's good, but you don't let a legend, he's your franchise player. You don't let him go. They let it get too businessy, in my opinion. And I just, oh man, how sad. That shouldn't have gone down. Braves are a great team, though. They're really well run. They took really good advantage of their draft picks that they had before, and they took really good advantage of their free agent signings, the offseason or the international stuff. They've done a great job. JD. Ooh. So JD, I think, comes back. He's Boris also, by the way. I think he could come back if we don't get Shohei. If not, if we get Shohei, then he's gone. But he's also got to watch out for himself. I mean, he is Miami-based. Yeah. Kershaw doesn't have anything else to prove. Oh, yeah, I agree. And he's a first-year Hall of Famer. Time to enjoy the family. And if he makes that call, good for him. I have nothing against Kershaw. Nothing at all. He should do what he does. He might retire depending on the injury. He's got to be getting tired of injuries. If it's worse than the Dodgers say, it is, then he might just say, screw it, enough with the grind. Yeah, Henricks too has been tough on Kersh. Yeah, it has been. And I'm just hoping it's true that they're just trying to save him. And they should. They got a 4-game lead. Not that that's a great lead, but it's enough. It's all about October. Dodgers have a really good chance, 99% chance of getting the playoffs. So Kershaw is a legend, absolutely. And the fact that we've had a chance, I've got to see him live so many times. It's been amazing. And just, even in spring training, when my main thing was covering prospects, when I was walking through and there's, real close, there's Kershaw right on the mound throwing a bullpen. I stop, get my camera out, time to shoot. Just to see that up close is really cool. And we've been really spoiled. If you haven't had a chance to see Kersh, somehow go see him live. I'm going for a media pass for next Sunday, which is the Christian Faith and Family Night. So I'm hoping I get that. I'd like to be able to talk to those. As some of you know, I'm a Crizzo. I'd love to talk to some of those guys about where they're at with their faith and stuff like that. That's that actually fascinates me more than baseball. People's stories of who they are, what their faith journey is, and stuff like that. It's fascinating. But yeah, I'm hoping to get that and be able to. I know Kirsch put that on after all the big stink. I'm just gonna call it the big stink, and interpret it however you want. It doesn't matter to me. It's things were handled really poorly no matter what, and I think both sides of that issue would have said so. It was terrible. It just didn't work. So, all right. On the note of Kirsch being a legend, and he is a legend, and he will always be a Dodger legend. Number 22 will be retired. Same year he's elected to the Hall of Fame. I may go out to. I want to see his. I'd like to see his induction speech live. We'll see. I've never been out there. All right. So we had a poll. At the end of the day, pretty close. People are saying, should the Dodgers not trade for a right-handed bat and go with DeLuca? The answer was no by a little bit, by 1 vote. All right. So, ending the poll. Thanks, everybody, again. You guys are the best, and it's really fun. Be doing like I said, hopefully next Sunday night. And I'll do 1 or 2 shows this week because I got it. Hey, come on, it's trade deadline grift. I'm on it. We have that. We'll do have a couple shows, hopefully. And then Sunday night, I'm going to hopefully have more people on from our team. And then on Tuesday, even though it's during the work day, I'm going to take some time off work. I do this every year. And I'm going to not only have a blog, live blog, which I did for Dodgers Nation for 4 years of the trade deadline, or 5 years actually. I'm going to, or 4 years. Yeah, it's 4 years of that. Something like that. 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. 5 years of doing that. I'm going to do it for my channel. By the way, my website's in the middle of transitioning to a new site, so it's a poo website right now, but it does work. Oh yeah, this is the All-Star cap from last year. It's it's one of those trucker hats, and I've actually grown to like those stupid things. They just charge too much for them, but they're comfortable. Um, yeah. So I'll do a live show. I don't know. The trade deadline's at 3. I'll probably start at 1 or 2, and then we'll go. It's going to be a 2-3 hour show. We'll go pure live. I'll be twittering, looking at Twitter, writing everything down. We'll just keep it fun. Have a chance to talk. Maybe we can do a Zoom thing and get people on to talk about it. We'll see. Yeah, that should be fun. So that's kind of what's coming up. So definitely at least 2 shows. We'll do Sunday night for sure, and then Tuesday. If anything big happens, of course, we'll get on in an emergency way. Appreciate any of the likes, subscribing, follows. My Instagram has a lot of content from the last few days, so if you want to check that out, I appreciate that. Again, my Twitter account, the Tim Rogers 2080 account, is now I got the blue check back, and I do Dodgers 2080 is there too. I don't do as much on there. I might keep that prospect. My Tim Rogers 2080 is all baseball, any team and all that. Yeah, he better be calling the Sox like now. Yeah, I'm gonna think about doing that Zoom. We'll see. We'll see if we can pull that off. Just to have a place for people to talk, but maybe while I type, because that way it's not just me. Maybe get other people from my team also on that too on Tuesday. So it's gonna be fun, and we'll do what we can. I don't get MLB Network because they took it out. My main not cable. I'm gonna give you that in a second. My cable is YouTube TV, and they lost MLB Network, so I don't have that. But they're really slow anyway. I'll be looking at Twitter. Jeff Passan will be the guy. What does Dodgers 2080 mean? So the 2080 is the grading system that scouts use when evaluating players. 20 is bad, 80 is good. I don't know why they didn't do 0 to 100. 2080, it's a little nichey. I kind of regret the name a little bit, but I couldn't come up with anything better. And I still may rebrand it eventually because I keep getting my Instagram thing taken down because they say I'm impersonating the Dodgers, and I'm not, even though I have it in the bio that I'm not affiliated. So I might do something about that. But for now, we're still Dodgers 2080, and I have a creative friend that I'm going to talk to this about. He's just a Padre fan though, so he might give me a terrible name. But it's it's a little nichey. But Dodgers prospects, that's kind of already taken in some ways. In fact, I have it a little bit, but it's not the name. I want to get Dodgers out of it, and things like that. But yeah. All right. So I really should. Ooh, dang, this went long. Big day at work tomorrow. So I'm gonna get out of here. We have we got the Dominican Summer League and the Arizona guys tomorrow, and of course we have the Dodgers back home. Michael Grove, still a rookie, on the mound against the Jays. I hear that Ryu might pitch against them on Wednesday. Be kind of fun. All right, that's it for now. That was a lot of content. Thank you again, everybody. Really appreciate it. This is really fun to do. So hopefully it's fun for you too. Thank you, everyone. All right, bye-bye.